Hello, my name is Matt. Welcome to another episode of Unbearable 73. I say excuses up front. My throat is pretty much shot from allergies and whatever. So, we're approaching the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. For those who aren't aware, RTD is returning. He will do three specials I'll talk about later um, for the actual 60th, as opposed to letting Chibnall do this episode. Okay. And the show has been marred by wokeism, bad writing, lack of respect for canon and things. But we get to sing, na 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 na, na 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 na, hey hey, goodbye to Dr. Jody. Because that's basically what this episode was, a goodbye to Dr. Jody episode. So here's my stance. I love Doctor Who. I'm probably one of the small percentage of not so old fans, meaning I'm only 49, who probably seen even the Lost episodes because they were all over PBS when I was a kid in the 70s. Not that I even knew what they were. I just recognized similar elements like the TARDIS or the blue box, as I called it when I was a kid, and weird and sort of weird science fiction stories. And it wasn't until Peter Davison's run, which showed in the U.S., on PBS in the 80s, obviously, that I was able to piece together in my head and go back and rewatch on the 6 different PBS channels that were airing Doctor Who, all in order, so to speak. So when they announced a woman to play the Doctor and picked Jodie Whittaker, I was okay with it because if it had to happen, she was a decent TV actress who worked on Broad Street. I enjoyed, and coincidentally enough, the showrunner on Broad Street, Chris Chibnall, was taking over the showrunner for Doctor Who. So I figured we would get a lot of character-driven stories. Chibnall was also the showrunner for the first season of Law and Order UK and was heavily involved with what came to be the 2008 BBC Merlin series. That was also good. So what we instead got, even though we should have gotten something good, was the pure ideological destruction of Doctor Who. I'm honestly convinced that Chibnall did the hit job. That they basically said to Chibnall, destroy it, make it woke, do whatever, for whatever reason. But I don't even think we could. I know a lot of people slammed Jodie Whittaker for this, but and yes, she made some stupid comments. I mean, but we've seen actors make stupid comments and stuff we love as well. So, um, I can't even say that she got a fair chance because, uh, you know, only one season of hers. I only really watched her first season straight through, and after that, I just kind of skim watched them. Like I'll put them on the other monitor and just sort of like glance occasionally and see if anything's worth it. You know, I did pay more attention in this episode than I did to the last two of our seasons. And in all that time, she only had one episode that was even remotely a Doctor Who like episode. Um, the entirety of every other episode was a left leaning moral message for the first 20 to 35 minutes, followed by they basically tacked on a brief and sometimes barely sci fi at all side plot at the end. Okay? I heard what they did to the character of the Doctor in terms of retcon over the next two seasons. I didn't pay particular attention to all the details with the timeless child and the first Doctor now being a woman and blah blah blah. You know, you just got to mentally focus that stuff out. So now I'm forcing myself to watch the final episode and complete because I want to see if I can jump back, or I want to give RTD a chance because RTD did well with the product before. So I want to give him a chance and see if he can do something. But I have some thoughts on that later. Okay. Um, Production. I can't really comment too much other than say two things. The sound of music is well done in terms of reflecting mood changes and whatnot, which is what in Doctor Who they're primarily used for. Um, Excuse me. The writing for the episode itself was atrocious. I'll be commenting about this in the entirety of the rest of my review. For example, it takes phenomenal power to even break into the TARDIS to project an image, right? Sutek, the Destroyer, who can kill the whole universe, could barely do it, albeit being strained at the time. But I'm experiencing camera flicker, and I'm not sure why. Every time I talk, I wonder if it's anyway. Let me know if you guys see some camera flicker on your end when you watch the video. Let me know, okay? So, Sutek can destroy the whole universe, right? And he can barely penetrate TARDIS. You ever see a Dalek, not even a Time War level Dalek, and he couldn't break into an old Type 42 that had chunks of it missing. if he does it very casually. Basically, they explored an established plot element, an established continuity element, to just make the story work that they're doing now. And then that's this episode's chock full of that crap. So I'm now talking about. I want to talk specifically about some plot stuff. Okay. Apparently, the main plot is that the Master wants to regenerate into the Doctor. In probably the worst scene in Doctor Who history, the Doctor's all tied up, is forced to listen while the Master dances to a weirdo techno love song as he confesses he's going to force himself on her via regeneration. And that would be this scene, which I'm sure I'll get a ding for, but now, and mind you, Rasputin as a character is already established in Doctor Who. An entire, yeah, I know it's the novels and whatever, but the usually the show writers respect the because many of them write these novels. They tend to respect what happens in the novels. I mean, literally, the Master is going to start dancing to a techno love song any second now. I mean, seriously, this is what we're supposed to get for Doctor Who? I mean, this is like the character of the Master is supposed to be the evil Doctor. So on that level, and this is supposed to make us take him seriously. Anyway, I'm not gonna play them anymore on that. That's all you guys need to, you know, like. So now on the particulars of the plot, is this a play of the male master sexually assaulting the female doctor via regeneration process, or is this a badly written story, a badly written trans storyline, badly written as it comes across as rapey, which left-leaning writers seem to think members of the trans community are. But remember, white liberals, they don't think well of anyone. As much as I love John Sims' run of the Master, does anyone else remember when the Master wasn't completely insane and he didn't just do plot device evil plans? Every version of the Master and Sims did a crazy nut job whose plots are cartoonish. There's a complete background plot which very loosely ties into the main plot with the Daleks drilling holes into the planet to trigger worldwide volcanism to destroy it. I mean, despite some of the weakest on-screen versions of the Daleks over the decades having planet-busting suitcase bombs. Don't use one of those. Let's make giant cartoon drills to drill into the volcanoes so all the volcanoes can erupt at the same time. I'm sure, I mean, but I guess it makes sense because in the context of the episode, the Master's batshit insane, and his plan sounded something you bought out of the Acme Looney Tunes factory, right? Finally, we have the other leg of the comically crazy Master's master plan, the newest super Cyberman who can regenerate. Spoiler, that's pretty much the only reason they're in an episode, those Cybermen, so they can regenerate at convenient times. Okay? You also hear the Master making fun of Doctor Who at title episodes, like, that's another stupid thing. I'm not going to belabor this. It's been going for almost 9 minutes already. Does Chibnall deserve some credit for getting older doctors involved in the event where the 50th mostly ignored them? Okay, yeah, I mean, I'll freely admit I enjoyed seeing the old doctors, Ace and Tegan, more than any of the current Dr. Jodie elements. Actually, once Jodie Whittaker was reduced to a hologram, and if you ignore the wokeness and horrible decisions made to lower the Doctor, the episode became a little more enjoyable. Basically, you had to divorce the episode from Doctor Who to make it watchable. Also, there were constant nostalgia-based callbacks to prior episodes, such as during the Stolen Earth Journey's End from the 4th series, where the TARDIS was flown by a full crew at the console, right, to do something special. In this episode, Dr. Jodie lines everyone up at the console, but then does nothing with them. I mean, the regeneration attendant, in my opinion, is either an attempt to lure fans who dumped the show already back in, or nostalgia bait lure towards a bait and switch with the 15th Doctor. Essentially, I think what's going to happen is we'll get 3 old school Tennant style Doctor Who episodes, and then when Doctor Scooty comes in, Scooty and Gawa, they're going to go more woke story elements. I think that's, and it's going to sucker you in for Tennant and do bait and switch again. Okay, and I don't want to see that. Okay, I mean, I'm not against having woke elements. I'm not against all that, as long as you give everyone something. Give those else who want to watch the show the old Doctor Who our stuff. You know, put something for everyone in there, not just the woke stuff. Okay, but again, part of me doesn't care enough about this episode to lose my mind too much over it, and that's the saddest thing. Thanks for watching my video. Smash the like button if you liked it. I apologize for my voice and interruptions, and my throat's just been shot. Smash the button if you liked it. Hit dislike if you didn't. Comment down below if you have questions for me or about this video. Please share it if you found it worthwhile. I'm Matt. This has been another episode of Unbearable 73. Have a nice day, and I am out of here.